Felicitous greetings, fellow fanatics. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Fanatic, and today we're taking a look at The Legend of Korra, a cartoon-inspired beat-em-up by PlatinumGames. Obviously, this is based off the TV series of the same name, and takes place between seasons 2 and 3. As such, this review will contain one fairly major spoiler for Season 2. In The Legend of Korra, you'll take on the role of the eponymous Korra, Aang's successor to the lineage of the Avatar. I normally don't dive into plot first, but it's short and relevant to the gameplay here. After severing the barrier that separated the physical and spiritual worlds at the end of Book 2, a wicked spirit named Hoondoon that was sealed away by a past Avatar has sought to take his revenge on Korra. He hires the Triads and recruits the remnants of the Equalists to fight against her, using a special poison that seals away her bending. Over the course of the game, Korra has to unlock her bending abilities once again, as well as defeat Hoondoon to restore peace. With the in-depth lore and wonderful storytelling of the original Avatar, and the lighter but still noteworthy world building of The Legend of Korra, you'd think this game might require more of a plot summary than that. But no, not really. That is the story. That is the whole story.
You gotta deal with it!
The bulk of The Legend of Korra takes place in beat-em-up levels. At the onset of the game, Korra will only be able to use her bare fists. But as the game goes on, you'll unlock each of her bending styles once more. In order of unlocking, water bending gives her great range, allowing her to shoot blasts of water at foes at a distance. Earth bending gives her slow, powerful blows, while fire bending goes the other direction and gives her swift, rapid strikes. Finally, when she unlocks airbending, she can use it to deal damage to groups of enemies all around her at once with sweeping area attacks. Each style of bending has its own moveset which can be expanded, both by using it to gain experience points as well as purchasing upgrades between stages. More on that in a little bit. In addition to her offensive capabilities, Korra is able to dodge away from foes and block their attacks. If you block an attack with precise timing, you'll get a mini quick time event that will allow you to perform powerful counterattack, which is generally the best way of dealing damage to stronger foes. Similarly, when fighting the Triads, they may attempt to counter you, which initiates a similar quick-time event. If you succeed, you'll shatter their stance and break through, else they'll punish your attack with impunity. Finally, you'll eventually unlock the ability to briefly go into the Avatar state as a super mode. Once this happens, button mash to your heart's content as you'll have a brief period of nigh invincibility as your attacks become unblockable and deal heavy damage in the process. You'll also have a number of segments where Korra will ride upon her trusty polar bear dog, Naga. These are pretty straightforward. You'll move from side to side, jump over pits and obstacles, slide under others, and sometimes find alternate paths which will reward you with more spirit energy. As Korra restores her bending, she'll be able to use it to aid their way, double jumping with airbending, destroying small obstacles with blasts of fire, etc. Just jump, slide, and dodge your way to victory and you'll do fine.
Slide, jump, 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 slide.
Finally, you'll also have a number of segments based off the series' fictional sport, pro bending. This controls largely like the beat-em-up segments, but follows the rules of the sport as you'd expect from the series. I'm not going to go into the details, but the short version is 2 teams of 3 are trying to push each other back to claim more territory. Whoever has more territory after each of 3 rounds wins. Alternatively, if an entire team is knocked into the water, the remaining team wins instantly regardless of round wins. After each segment of a level, you'll be given a medal depending on how well you did. Bronze, silver, gold, or platinum. At the end of each level, your medals will be averaged together to give you an overall medal for the level. You can get higher medals both by building up larger combos and finishing fights more quickly. As you go throughout stages, you'll be able to collect spirit energy, and you gain a bonus at the end of the stage depending on how good your medal was. After collecting spirit energy, you can visit Iroh in the spirit world to purchase upgrades. These include new moves to your bending styles, equipment that alters your stats in various ways, and consumable items. Presentation-wise, the game isn't bad. You have some cutscenes that are made using the same top-notch animation as the TV series, and the voice actors reprise their roles, although Korra is the only one that plays a major role in the game. The game has a cel-shaded look that accurately reflects the series, to say nothing of borrowing its excellent soundtrack. All in all, the game is quite short. It only took me about 5 hours. In that time, I wasn't concerned about maxing medals or getting all the items. I just beat the main story on normal and I was done with it. This unlocks extreme difficulty as well as a dedicated pro bending mode, but honestly, I'm just done with the game. It's simply not that interesting. I wouldn't say that it's terrible, just bland and repetitive. Enemy variety is very limited. and most of the time you don't even get to have that much fun with the bending, as the best option is just to block and counterattack, as this will typically do far more damage than you could by actually attacking. It really is sad. The Avatar series seems like it's ripe for a video game adaptation, but even when they got PlatinumGames of Beautiful Joe fame, it still just felt like it was average at best. It reminds me a lot of Ruby Glim Eclipse in that it seems like a concept that should be so easy to convert into a highly enjoyable game, but instead just ends up feeling lifeless and disappointing. I'm not doing a full review of that one, it is absolutely awful. But as for Korra, I wouldn't say it's awful, just entirely uninspired and forgettable. It looks nice, but the gameplay is as plain as can be, while the story is practically non-existent. As such, I find The Legend of Korra to be worthy a mediocre 6.5 out of 10. The Legend of Korra was released in 2014 and has since been removed from digital platforms. This game never saw a physical release. The 3DS title of the same name is a completely different game that plays as a tactical RPG, so currently there's no legal way to obtain this title. I'd say sorry, but honestly, you're not missing much. But what about you? What do you think of The Legend of Korra? Which video game adaptations handled their franchises better? Do you have any questions, remarks, or opposing points of view? Leave them in the comments down below. And please remember to like, share, subscribe, and ring that bell. And if you really enjoy my work, please consider funding my channel on Patreon. Until next time, farewell, fellow fanatics. Thank you again for watching. I have plenty more to share with you if you're interested. You can click up here above my head to subscribe to my channel. You can click over here on my monitor to see the most recent video that I've worked on. Or if you prefer, you can click up here to open this mysterious vault and see what video that the YouTube algorithm has picked just for you.